Okay, compound inequalities. Compound means more than one. And so when we look at it, we will be doing more than one equality. And this you've probably seen before, but this interval notation over here is what's brand new. So we're going to spend a little bit of time there. You guys are used to these. In fact, we reviewed them yesterday. And these round parentheses or a square bracket mean the same thing, but it's new notation. So on the less than or greater than, there's no or equals on these, right? In interval notation, those are represented with the round parentheses. That means it doesn't equal, it can't equal. And our or equals is represented with the square bracket. And so what's really strange is that this right here means exactly the same thing as this one. So let's take a look, and we're learning it, we're going to be practicing it, and you'll get used to it, I promise. This is just fancy math speak, the set of x such that x. Don't even worry about that. Kind of pay attention to this part. You're used to x is less than or equal to 2, right? So all the numbers that are less than 2 go all the way down to negative infinity, right? So right here, this is the part that says it can equal 2, and all the numbers less than all the way down to negative infinity. Why do I have a parenthesis right there? Why can't it equal? Infinity isn't an identifiable number, right? There's always one more if we look at it that way. So that's why it can never equal negative infinity. And you'll find that you'll want to type a square bracket on negative or positive infinity on Alex, and it'll mark it wrong. So we need to have a round bracket when we're talking about infinity. This little guy is union, and really all it is an and. This and this. The union of this side and this side. So here it says x is greater than 3. I have my round bracket because it can't equal 3. There's no or equal. 3 and all the way greater to infinity. Okay, let's look at the next part. These mean the same thing. Do you see how x is in between two numbers here? It's in between negative 10 and 21. So that's why I'll have only one set right here. X is in between negative 10 and 21. It can equal 21. It can't equal negative 10. And we'll get more comfortable with moving back and forth as time goes on. All right, so over here, I've got a compound inequality. And I solve these by using the cover-up method. I cover up the second inequality and I solve that one. And then I turn around and I cover up the first inequality and I solve that one. So let's see. I've got 8 is less than 3y minus 7. And I have 3y minus 7 is less than or equal to 23. That looks friendly all of a sudden. Who has done compounding inequalities? Have you done that in your past math life? Saw a couple hands. Okay, it's in there somewhere. But is interval notation brand new? Yeah, the brackets and parentheses. Okay, so you guys should be solving those because you don't need me to do that. And in this case, I like to leave y on the right-hand side. It might help me in a minute. go ahead and solve that second one. Divide. Now, this started as one statement, didn't it, up here? So if I can end as one statement, I need to. Are there numbers that are bigger than 5 and less than or equal to 10? Yeah, there are. Because there are, that means I can smash this back together in one piece. Ooh, but my direction said use interval notation. So I've got to change that. Interval notation. I've got set notation right here. So let's see. At 5, am I going to have a round or a square bracket? Parenthesis or a bracket? Bracket, because, well, nope. I'm going to have the parenthesis, right? Because it can't equal. But on the 10, I'm going to have what? The 10, I'm going to have the bracket. Okay. Set up the second one. Break it into the two problems. Take a look at mine if you needed a little help. It looks like you're moving forward and solving. That's great. You don't know how happy it makes me to see you guys working on your own problem rather than just copying mine directly. That's fabulous. Okay, we're getting to where we've solved for the most part. So my question is, can I smash this back into 1? Are there numbers that are bigger than -5 but smaller than 6? Yeah, there are numbers like 0, right? It's bigger than -5 and it's smaller than 6, or 1, or 2.5, right? So because there are numbers that are bigger than -5 and smaller than 6, that's why I can smash it back into 1. This feels familiar. Now move it over to interval notation. Bracket or parenthesis on that -5? Good, because or equal to. Bracket or parenthesis on the 6? Good. And if you can see in the third problem, they're not always one statement, right? Where 3y minus 7 is bigger than 8 but smaller than 23. Down here I have an or statement going on. So we're going to solve both of those. We're going to see what our values look like at the end before I give you any more information. So go ahead and solve those independently. Okay, so I've kind of led you a little bit with some of my questions along the way here. Are there numbers, can you think of any number that is smaller than negative 10
Negative 11.
and bigger than 5? No, right? There is no number that is both smaller than negative 10 and bigger than 5. That's the reason we cannot smash it into 1 like I did the 2 above problems. That's why we've got an OR statement here. So we have this OR, and when you put in your answer in your homework, well, we haven't done one of these together, so we'll slow up for a second. We're going to do these separately and we'll have an OR. I'm going to do this one and then I'll do this one. How in interval notation do I show all the numbers less than negative 10?
Negative infinity.
Okay, and I've got to move from left to right on my number line. Negative infinity is the smallest number, right? It is smaller than negative 10. On negative 10, you're going to have a parenthesis or a bracket.
Parenthesis.
Right, I don't have the or equal there. And then all the numbers bigger than 5.
Infinity.
5 to infinity, right? Did that have an or equal?
Yes.
I need to put that there then. Holler at me if you see me miss something like that. All right, so that means a bracket on 5 because it is or equal to the 5. All the way to infinity. Parenthesis, because it can't ever equal infinity. Now, we've done this left-hand box. It asked us to put them in set notation, but as we solved, we ended up doing both. So this is complete.